What a fun win against Green Bay. Now that streak, that monkey that we found ourselves with, it's finally off our back. And I'm here to talk about, though, a gift that was just given to us. The Bears just requested an interview with Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. Now, we have others scheduled as well: Aaron Glenn, Dolphins DC, Anthony Weaver, among others. But this interview is the one that we should care about. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're the ones that just gave us a gift. They were thought to be the preferred spot for Johnson, but they may have just put the ball right back in the Chicago Bears' court in terms of pursuit of Ben Johnson. And they just made a huge mistake. If they want his services, what they just did was not advisable. And I'm going to talk about why. Before that, answer for me in the comments: how significant was this win at Green Bay? Was the win worth dropping 2 spots in the draft to pick 10th? You guys let me know in the comments. This is Sports Talk Bears. I'm Sean. Hey, do us a huge solid. Bless us. Hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you here. So let's get to the story. And we're looking at entering into the final week of the regular season, right? Johnson, he was expected to be a strong candidate for both head coach openings, Jacksonville and Chicago. And the speculation entering the weekend, that was with that Johnson was eyeing the Jaguars over the Bears, and that in theory would have allowed him to be aligned with a new general manager as well. So now that advantage, it's absolutely gone for the Jags, and we should be very happy about it. And I'm going to go straight to Jordan Schultz on Twitter, and I'm just going to read directly from it. Multiple sources emphasized last week that the Jaguars would struggle to attract a head coach if they kept Trent Balk. They faced similar challenges during their last coaching search. Owner Shad Khan, he spoke with many people, but he remains unmoved. Balk is staying. One source just now, insane. I'll let you fill in the expletive. So, hey, the expectation was that the Jaguars were going to fire head coach Doug Peterson. That did happen. But the expectation was that they're going to fire GM Trent Balk on Black Monday today. And that was supposed to create a direct path to landing Johnson. I mean, the Jaguars, they wasted no time in firing Peterson today, but in a surprising decision, Balk remained in place as the team's GM. And with that, now there's just another team in the running with the New England Patriots requesting an interview with Ben Johnson as well. This is after firing Gerard Mayo. I'm going to table this for another post. Let's focus on Jacksonville. But I really think the New England Patriots are going to go after Mike Vrabel as their number one candidate. That's just me. I think this is a 2-team race still, and maybe a single team one now. So, and I know what you're going to say. You might say the Bears are making the same mistake with no word yet on our own GM, Ryan Poles. But keeping Balk, it's just a different move. You see, keeping Balk is an unexpected move by Jacksonville, and part of the attraction for Johnson would have been, once again, the ability to bring along a GM of his choosing. The inability to do that now, at the very least, it levels the playing field between the two teams. And my belief is when it comes right down to it, Poles will be a way more attractive option than Balk. Word is that Balk was a big barrier in their last coaching search, but owner Shad Khan, he's still electing to keeping him. So let's kind of get down to brass tacks. Why is he so unattractive? Sorry about my voice. I'm just getting over a long sickness. So let's get to it. For one, he seems to be the GM that gets coaches fired over and over again. I mean, look back to his time in San Francisco, Jim Harbaugh, Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula. Now in Jacksonville, Doug Peterson today, and before that, Urban Meyer. And he's been GM since 2021 and only one Pro Bowler drafted in Trevor Lawrence. Granted, Poles hasn't done any better in that regard, but this isn't apples to apples. Let me continue here. He's known for being difficult to work with, even volatile. His backstage fighting with Harbaugh, that's what got Harbaugh bounced out of town. So what I'm sharing here, it's that the Jacksonville Jaguars keeping Balk, it greatly hurts their chances of bringing Ben Johnson to town. Now, so far, Ryan Poles, the Chicago Bears are retaining him so far, but they have not extended him yet. Look for that to happen in the next 24 hours to signify he's staying. Could the Bears fire him? Could they make the job more appealing if necessary by firing Poles? I mean, certainly that can happen. especially if a guy like Vance Joseph or Anthony Weaver, if they're actually seriously in the running for this head coaching job, they're going to interview as well. If that's who's being considered, GM Ryan Poles should be fired, but my thought is that these are more likely candidates for the D coordinator position. And I truly believe this is going to be the case. I think the Bears are going to keep Poles. Ownership is very hesitant to fire a GM so soon, and their track record, it really speaks to that. So right now we have to assume that GM Ryan Poles is going to stay in place. Coupled with that, there's also reports that Ben Johnson has signaled that working with Poles, it's an acceptable prospect to him. So kind of looking at the lay of the land, virtual interviews for head coaching jobs, they can begin on Wednesday of this week. Lions have a bye week in the playoffs. Congratulations. Interviews would need to be completed, though, by the following Monday. So kind of let's look at who else is on the docket. Ian Rappaport, he reported that the Bears have also requested an interview with Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, excuse me. If you don't know a lot about Petzing, he helped the Cardinals. They really crafted one of the league's best rushing offenses, overseeing development of players like wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., kind of an okay year. Tight end Trey McBride, he's really done really well. That's during his time in Arizona. The Bears have also expressed interest in interviewing Denver Broncos defensive coordinator Vance Joseph. And he's also already been sought after by the New York Jets as well. So there'll be some competition for his services. I honestly think he's coming in because the Bears want to consider him as their new defensive coordinator. Kind of looking at Joseph's previous experience, he was the head coach of the Broncos for 2 seasons, but he's really thrived under Sean Payton's regime in the Mile High City. I mean, Denver's defense ranked 7th in the NFL in allowing 317 yards per game, league's 3rd best scoring defense, and they've allowed just 18.3 points per contest this season. And that's not even with Pro Bowl players. Denver's personnel was looked to be a little below par. So for Vance Joseph to be doing that with the players that he has, just a really masterful job. And I'd love for him to be looked at for our defensive coordinator. And also, speaking of defensive coordinators, the Bears have also requested an interview with Miami Dolphins D coordinator Anthony Weaver. Looking at the Dolphins defense, they allowed 21.4 points per game this season, and that's good for 11th in the NFL. They also had one of the league's best pass defenses, allowing only 210.6 yards per game. So the Bears are still looking to interview former Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. That's according to Fox Sports' Jay Glazer, that they're still going to seek that interview. But honestly, I think that he's going to be a strong contender for this Patriots job, given his close ties with the organization after a really long playing career there. And I also think that New England is more likely to give him the organizational control that he previously sought after in Tennessee, and that was part of him parting ways with them. So you guys let me know. Be sure to answer, was that Green Bay win worth it? Was it worth 2 spots in the draft? I kind of think morally and also to get that streak done, I think it was worth it and it was enjoyable. But you guys let me know. Bear down. Thanks for watching. I'll be in better health and we'll talk soon. See ya.